They say revenge is best served cold. But I didn't serve mine with anger or confrontation. I served it with silence, backed by proof, patience, and a brutal truth he never saw coming. My name's Daniel. And this is the story of how I got someone expelled, without ever raising my voice. It started in my second year of university. You know that time when you're not a wide-eyed freshman anymore, but you're still constantly doubting if you belong? I was trying to hold on to my GPA like it was my lifeline. I didn't have wealthy parents to fall back on. I was here on scholarships, student loans, and part-time tutoring jobs. Every grade counted. Every percentage mattered. And then came this class, a required core course for my major. Notorious for its difficulty. And even worse, known for a massive group project that was worth 40% of your final grade. 40%. Miss this up, and you're retaking the class. Maybe even delaying graduation. We didn't get to choose our group members. It was randomly assigned. Which, in theory, is fair. In practice? It's a roulette wheel of who's going to drag you down. There were 4 of us. 2 of the others were decent. We got along. They contributed. Nothing extraordinary, but at least they showed up. But this story isn't about them. This story is about Adrian. Now, let me paint you a picture. Adrian was that guy. The type who walks into a room like he owns the place. Charismatic. Flashy smile. Loud laugh. Always networking, always busy. He had perfect hair, a collection of designer watches, and an ego the size of our lecture hall. From the first group meeting, I knew this was going to be a problem. He showed up 20 minutes late, talked over everyone, and then casually said, "Don't worry, I'll handle the hard parts. I've done a ton of projects like this." Spoiler alert, he didn't handle anything. In the first 2 weeks, we tried to divide the work evenly. We set internal deadlines, shared a Google Drive folder, even had weekly Zoom check-ins. Adrian? He missed almost every call. When he did show up, he'd talk about big ideas without actually doing anything. I remember once, I sent him a message like, "Hey, just checking in. We need your part by Friday so I can start compiling everything." He replied 5 hours later with, "You my bad, been swamped. I'll bang it out tonight, bro." That night came and went. Nothing. I followed up again. No response. Then another message. "Just need a bit more time. Trust me, I got you." I wanted to believe him. I really did. Because deep down, I didn't want drama. I didn't want to be the nag. I just wanted the grade. But as the deadline loomed closer, my anxiety grew. I wasn't sleeping. I was juggling 2 part-time jobs and trying to salvage this project. I kept telling myself, just finish it. Just get it done. It's not worth the risk. So I did it. I stayed up late. Cancelled shifts. Skipped meals. I rewrote Adrian's entire section. Did the research. Created the visuals. Double-checked the citations. And then, 2 days before the deadline, I submitted it. I left his name on the document. Why? I guess I didn't want to burn a bridge. Or maybe I was just too tired to fight. But what came next? That was the real betrayal. A few days later, I woke up to an email from our professor. Subject line, "Thank you for your project submission, Adrian." Wait, what? I blinked. Read it again. "Thank you for your project submission, Adrian." I'll be reviewing your individual contribution as we discussed. My stomach dropped. I opened our shared drive. Everything was untouched. Then I opened my inbox again, and there it was. Adrian had downloaded our finished project. Removed all our names. Tweaked the formatting slightly. Changed the title page. And submitted it as his own solo work. He didn't just take credit. He erased us. Worse? He told the professor we had kicked him out of the group unfairly. He claimed we bullied him, excluded him from meetings, and that I, had stolen his ideas. I couldn't breathe. It felt like I had been hit in the chest. This wasn't just a grade anymore. This was my academic record. My scholarship. My reputation. And all of it was hanging by a thread, because of him. I'll be honest. For about an hour, I just sat there. I didn't eat. I didn't speak. I just stared at my screen. And then something inside me shifted. Not anger. Not even rage. Just focus. I wasn't going to scream. I wasn't going to beg. I was going to prove everything. First, I opened the Google Doc. Checked the version history. Every edit was time-stamped. My name. My login. Every contribution. His? Barely anything. A few formatting tweaks from a month ago. Then I pulled up our chat logs. Dozens of messages of me reminding him. Asking. Following up. His replies? Yo, chill. Busy RN. Bet. Then I remembered something else. Those Zoom meetings. See, I had recorded a few, not for this, but because I'm forgetful and sometimes like to revisit brainstorming sessions. And there he was. In the video. Sitting back, making jokes, barely engaging. While the rest of us planned every detail. Over the next 6 hours, I compiled everything. Screenshots. Emails. Chat logs. Drive histories. Zoom clips. I even made a timeline of all interactions. 32 pages of documented truth. I formatted it neatly. Gave it a title. Group Project, Academic Integrity Report, Daniel, last name. Then, I didn't just send it to the professor. I CC'd the Academic Integrity Committee. And then. I waited. 3 days later, I was called in. I didn't know what to expect. A part of me still worried they'd believe him. But when I walked into the meeting room, the professor wouldn't even look me in the eye. He said, Daniel. I'm truly sorry. We made a serious mistake. Turns out, Adrian had done this before. Last semester, he was caught submitting copied lab reports. Got off with a warning. But this time, the evidence was airtight. He was scheduled for a hearing. He didn't show. 2 weeks later, his name disappeared from the course roster. His student portal access revoked. Just like that, he was gone. No goodbye. No more fake smiles in the hallway. No more talking over people like he was the smartest in the room. And me? I passed the course. Got one of the top grades in the class. The professor personally apologized, in writing. Even recommended me for a research assistant position later that semester. But this story isn't about grades. It's about knowing your worth. It's about standing your ground, not with noise, but with facts. And it's about how sometimes, the most powerful revenge isn't shouting into the void. It's letting the truth do the talking. If you've ever been stabbed in the back by someone you trusted, drop a comment. What would you have done if you were in my shoes? Would you have gone public, or stayed silent and let the receipts speak? I want to hear your story. Because sometimes, the quiet ones? We're the ones who remember everything. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. This isn't the only time someone underestimated the wrong person.